Aquarius is one of the crooked signs, but that's for another video. The space program languished in the last 10 or 15 years, as we've let all sorts of social programs languish, as we've permitted the amount of poverty in children to increase. Before the end of this century, more than half the kids in America may be below the poverty line. What kind of a future do we build for the country if we raise all these kids as disadvantaged, unable to cope with a society, as resentful for the injustice served up to them? This is stupid. And then what happened with the resources is they went into increasing budgets for arms. Is that where the money went? That and making rich people richer. Those are the two places where, well, the thing about rich people being one, I guess, is the money gets reinvested. If you've got money, you put it in a bank. A bank lends it to people to buy homes or cars or whatever it gets, but not poor people. No, that's a good point. It tends to stay up at that highly stratified, but more people get employed with capital formation and such. Well, are you a socialist? I'm not sure what a socialist is, but I believe that the government has a responsibility to care for the people. I'm talking about making people self-reliant, people able to take care of themselves. There are countries which are perfectly able to do that. The United States is an extremely rich country. It's perfectly able to do that. It chooses not to. It chooses to have homeless people. We are 19th in the world in infant mortality. 18 other countries save the lives of their babies better than we. How come? They just spent more money on it. They care about their babies more than we care about ours. I think it's a disgrace. That was Ted Turner interviewing Carl Sagan in 1989. Carl Sagan was born with Saturn at 21 Aquarius. On October 9th, 1980, the Louisiana state government passed the Separate Car Act, which required equal but separate train cars for black people and white people. The law doesn't account for any other skin tones. Saturn was not transiting Aquarius at this time, but on October 9th, 1980, Jupiter was at 2 degrees of Aquarius, working for Saturn in Virgo, with the moon applying. And Virgo is a segment of the zodiac that pertains to separating the wheat from the chaff, so that gives you some special insight into the minds of authority figures at the time. A New Orleans newspaper at the time said that it was a unanimous demand on the part of white people to increase the comfort for the traveling public. So you want to make everybody comfortable. Everyone. The Separate Car Act also kicked off a chain of events that led to the segregation of schools in the United States under the banner Separate but Equal. This equal but separate and separate but equal reminds me of the police have the slogan to protect and serve. It used to be to serve and protect. The first priority being to serve. But now that's not the first priority. Anyway, there's a South Park skit where a guy's trying to eat at a restaurant and the hostess is like, "I'm sorry, sir, but we're not seating anyone who's not wearing their pajamas." And the guy bristles at that, and he's not wearing pajamas, so it doesn't want to. And so the hostess is like, "The management prefers that everyone inside be nice and comfy-wumpy. If you prefer, you only need to wear your pajamas to get in. You don't have to wear them at your table while you're actively eating." Water bearing is a responsibility. You have to go out and get the water and bring it back. You have to leave civilization. Before we had pipes, you would have to leave the village, bring the water back, which is heavy, bringing enough back for everyone. So it's bringing something that everyone wants and needs, and that is necessary. In the zodiac, the zodiacal process, which is a circle, the sign of Leo pertains to the center, and in the body, it pertains to the heart and the spine. And Aquarius pertains to the ankles, extremities, and the circulation and the nervous system. The circulatory system pertains to sharing. The heart, the center, pumps out fresh blood and takes in dirty blood to clean it. And the circulatory system carries the water and shares it throughout the body. The astrologer Heidi Rose Robbins, who practices esoteric astrology, which is not the type of astrology I practice, but I like some parts of it. The soul phrase for Aquarius, according to the tradition of esoteric astrology, water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty men. It's not efficient for everyone to go get their own water all the time. It's a system, a structured system for someone to go get the water, get enough for everyone, and bring it back. It's a system, a structured system, where someone goes, takes responsibility for the journey out of the village, out of safety, to go get the water and bring it back. It's a system. It's a great responsibility and even an honor. But it's not like the king or the mayor. When you leave town to go get water, you see a different world. You're out beyond the boundaries of your village. You can turn back and look at your village from a different vantage point. You can see things as they are in the village in a different way than when you're in it, in the center. A view from 10,000 feet. If you're in an airplane, you can see everything as it is in a different way than if you're like down in it in the mall on the ground. You can maybe see what might benefit from change. Aquarius is a sign of fixed air. Clouds are like this, and they are water bearers. And if you're in a cloud, you can see the world from 10,000 feet. You can make changes and improvements, like bring the water to the land. Aquarius is a sign of objective reality and the ideal and possibility. Utopia and dystopia. If we're changing the world, if we're making changes that we think need to be made to the world, who are they for? Is it for the benefit of everyone? A utopia where there are no problems and no chaos, which is a fool's errand? Is it a dystopia where you've wrested control for yourself, for the good of everybody? An oppressive world for many or most, but we're all in this together. We need to go through this turmoil. We need to all take austere measures. The movie Snowpiercer comes to mind. The world outside was turning out to be maybe okay, but everyone was kept inside of a train and everything needed to be balanced. So there was a system of scarcity where you can only have fish twice a year because you have to maintain the balance on the train. Everything was expertly managed, but if one hair fell out of place, the whole train falls apart and gets derailed. And a part of this system was that there was a whole tail section of the train of people who were downtrodden and wearing rags and not well taken care of and heavily oppressed and made to eat only bugs. And Aquarius is seeing the cold hard reality and imagining the possibilities. The open-mindedness of being able to see things from a different vantage point, or being able to see things from exile, whether that's by choice or not by choice. The Rider-Waite Tarot uses a system of astrological correspondences, and the card that corresponds with all of Aquarius is the star. Water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty men.